Let me share something that many people are not told clearly enough. A large number of adults over 60 are getting far more sodium than their bodies can comfortably handle each day. And one of the biggest hidden sources is something that feels warm, comforting, and harmless. Soup. That familiar bowl in your pantry or from your favorite restaurant may look simple, but in many cases it contains more salt and processed ingredients than your body really needs, especially as you get older. But here's the encouraging part. Not all soups are the same. Some soups can quietly push blood pressure higher and increase strain on the heart and kidneys. Others can help support healthy circulation, reduce inflammation, and make it easier to maintain steady energy through the day. In this video, I want to walk you through both sides. First, we'll look at the soups that are best kept as rare treats or avoided altogether. Then I'll share several soup options that many people over 60 use as part of a supportive, heart-friendly routine. This is not about perfection. It's about making better everyday choices that support how your body changes with time. Let's begin with why soup matters more than most people realize. Many adults are surprised to learn how quickly sodium adds up. Even when you don't add salt at the table, packaged and restaurant foods can already contain most of the daily amount your body needs, sometimes more than that in a single serving. When sodium intake stays high day after day, your body tends to hold on to extra fluid. That can increase pressure inside your blood vessels and place more workload on your heart. Over time, this can make it harder to keep blood pressure in a healthy range, especially when blood vessels naturally become less flexible with age. But sodium is not the only concern. Some soups also contain saturated fats, refined carbohydrates, and flavor additives that can increase inflammation and cause rapid changes in blood sugar. These effects may not be obvious right away, but they can quietly influence how you feel, how steady your energy is, and how well your circulation functions. That is why it helps to know which soups are better left on the shelf. Let's start with the first one. Dangerous soup number 1. Many canned chicken noodle soups. This often surprises people because chicken noodle soup is commonly associated with comfort and care. But many canned versions contain very high sodium levels, sometimes close to half or more of what is recommended for an entire day, in just 1 cup. And most people naturally eat more than 1 cup. When this becomes a regular habit, it can make it harder to keep blood pressure steady. In addition, many canned versions include refined noodles that can raise blood sugar quickly, along with preservatives that don't offer any real nutritional benefit. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy chicken soup again. It simply means that homemade versions with lower salt and more vegetables tend to be a better option for regular meals. Dangerous soup number 2. Cream-based soups like cream of mushroom. These soups often contain a combination of high sodium and saturated fat. Saturated fat, when eaten frequently, can influence cholesterol levels and contribute to inflammation in blood vessels. Many canned cream soups also use thickening agents and added sugars that can affect digestion and blood sugar control. For people over 60, these factors together can place unnecessary strain on both the cardiovascular and metabolic systems. Again, this doesn't mean cream soups must be completely off limits forever, but they are better enjoyed occasionally rather than as weekly staples. Dangerous soup number 3. Instant noodle soups. These are often among the highest sodium foods found in grocery stores. A single packet may contain close to a full day's recommended sodium intake. In addition, the noodles are usually made from refined flour and processed oils, which can contribute to inflammation and uneven blood sugar responses. The seasoning packets also tend to contain flavor enhancers that some people find cause discomfort, such as headaches or palpitations. For older adults who are already managing blood pressure, blood sugar, or joint discomfort, these soups can make things more difficult rather than supportive. Dangerous soup number 4. Heavy chowders, especially creamy seafood chowders. These soups combine several challenging elements at once: high sodium, heavy cream, butter, and sometimes processed meats. That combination can affect cholesterol balance, fluid retention, and digestion. In addition, very rich meals can leave some people feeling sluggish and uncomfortable afterward, especially if digestion has slowed with age. Seafood itself can be a healthy part of many diets, but when it is served in heavy, salty cream sauces, the overall effect may not be as supportive as people expect. Dangerous soup number 5. Cheese-topped onion soups with thick bread. These soups are flavorful, but they often contain large amounts of salt, saturated fat, and refined bread. This combination can cause rapid changes in blood sugar while also adding a heavy sodium load. For people managing weight, blood sugar, or cholesterol, these soups can work against their goals when eaten frequently. Dangerous soup number 6. Many restaurant-style dumpling or wonton soups. These soups often seem light, But the broth can be very high in sodium, and the dumplings are typically made with refined flour and fatty fillings. In some people, flavor additives used in restaurant broths may also cause discomfort or increased heart awareness. Again, this does not mean they can never be enjoyed, but they are better treated as an occasional outing meal rather than a regular habit. Now, here is where things become much more encouraging, because there are soups that many people over 60 find helpful for feeling steadier, lighter, and more supported in their daily routines. Let's move to the first of the supportive options. Good soup number 1, homemade vegetable soup with low sodium broth. This is one of the simplest and most flexible choices you can make. When you fill your soup with vegetables like carrots, celery, tomatoes, leafy greens, zucchini, and onions, you are providing your body with potassium, fiber, and antioxidants. Potassium helps balance the effects of sodium and supports healthy blood vessel function. Fiber supports digestion and steadier blood sugar. Antioxidants help reduce everyday inflammatory stress inside the body. The key is controlling the salt. Using low-sodium broth or making your own allows you to enjoy flavor from herbs, garlic, and spices without overwhelming your system with sodium. Many people prepare a large pot once or twice a week and enjoy it as a light meal or side dish. This kind of soup supports hydration, digestion, and overall nutrient intake in a gentle way. Good soup number 2, lentil soup. Lentils are rich in plant protein and soluble fiber, which helps support cholesterol balance and steady energy. They also contain magnesium and potassium, minerals that help blood vessels relax and support circulation. Because lentils digest slowly, they help prevent sharp rises and falls in blood sugar, which is helpful for energy and appetite control. Many people find lentil soup filling without being heavy, making it a good option for lunch or an early dinner. With the right herbs and vegetables, it can be very flavorful without needing much salt at all. Good soup number 3, bone broth-based soups. When prepared gently over many hours, bone broth contains natural compounds that support joints, skin, and digestion. It also provides minerals in forms that are easy to absorb. For some people, warm broth is especially soothing and can be helpful when appetite is low or digestion feels sensitive. The important part is choosing low-sodium versions or preparing it at home, so you get the nourishment without excess salt. Bone broth can be enjoyed on its own or used as a base for vegetable and chicken soups. Good soup number 4, miso-style soup made with reduced sodium miso. Miso is a fermented food, which means it contains beneficial compounds that support digestion and immune balance. As we get older, the diversity of helpful bacteria in the gut often decreases, which can affect how well nutrients are absorbed and how strong the immune response feels. Miso helps support that internal balance in a gentle way. It also contains plant compounds that may support healthy blood vessel function. However, traditional restaurant miso soup can still be high in sodium, so the best option is to prepare it at home using reduced sodium miso paste and plenty of water, tofu, and vegetables. Adding seaweed and green onions increases mineral and antioxidant content without adding much salt. This kind of soup is light, warming, and easy to digest, which many people find helpful in the evening. Good soup number 5, tomato soup made with olive oil instead of cream. Tomatoes are rich in natural antioxidants that support heart and blood vessel health. When tomatoes are cooked, these antioxidants become easier for the body to use. That is why tomato soup can be even more beneficial than raw tomatoes alone. When you add a small amount of olive oil, it helps your body absorb these compounds more efficiently and also provides healthy fats that support inflammation balance. Olive oil contains natural compounds that help calm inflammatory responses in blood vessels and joints. Homemade tomato soup with garlic, herbs, and olive oil can be both comforting and supportive without needing heavy cream or excess salt. This is a simple example of how changing just a few ingredients can completely change how a meal affects your body. Good soup number 6, homemade chicken and vegetable soup. This is one of the most balanced soup options for people over 60. When prepared with bone-in chicken, plenty of vegetables, and low-sodium broth, it provides protein for muscle support, fiber for digestion, and minerals for bone and nerve function. Protein becomes especially important with age because maintaining muscle helps support balance, mobility, and independence. Vegetables provide antioxidants and natural compounds that help protect blood vessels. Warm liquid also supports hydration, which many people unintentionally struggle with as thirst signals become less noticeable over time. Making a large batch and freezing individual portions makes it easy to have supportive meals ready when you don't feel like cooking. Now, let's talk about why these soup choices matter so much. Food affects the body not only through calories, but through how it influences blood vessels, inflammation, digestion, and fluid balance. Soups that are high in sodium and saturated fat can gradually make blood vessels more rigid and less responsive. This makes it harder for circulation to adjust smoothly and can contribute to higher pressure inside the vessels. On the other hand, soups that are rich in vegetables, fiber, healthy fats, and minerals tend to support flexibility in blood vessels and steadier fluid balance. Over time, these small daily choices can influence how much strain your heart and kidneys experience. This is why replacing just a few meals each week can already make a difference in how you feel. You don't have to change everything at once. Many people start by making one simple swap. For example, replacing canned soups with homemade vegetable or lentil soup a few times per week. Or keeping low-sodium broth and frozen vegetables on hand to make quick soups when time is short. Small steps add up when they become routine. Another helpful habit is reading nutrition labels more carefully. Sodium content is often much higher than expected, especially in packaged soups. Looking for products with less than 400 milligrams of sodium per serving is a good starting point, and even lower is better when possible. But even better than packaged low-sodium soups is preparing simple soups at home, where you control what goes in. Let's also talk about something that is often overlooked. Soups can be an easy way to increase vegetable intake without feeling like you are forcing yourself to eat more greens. When vegetables are cooked into soups, they become softer and easier to digest, which many people prefer. This makes soups a practical tool for improving overall nutrition without complicated meal planning. And because soups are warm and comforting, people are more likely to enjoy them and stick with the habit. Now, before we move to the final part, I want to say something important. This video is not about fear. It's not about saying that certain foods are forbidden or that one meal will suddenly cause problems. It's about understanding patterns. What we eat regularly shapes how our bodies respond over time. By choosing more supportive soups most of the time, you create an environment in your body that favors steadier energy, better circulation, and less daily strain. That is a powerful form of self-care, especially after 60. In the final part, we'll bring everything together and talk about how to build these soups into your routine in a realistic way, without feeling overwhelmed or restricted. Now let's bring this all together in a way that actually works in real life. Because the goal is not to eat perfectly. The goal is to make better choices most of the time. You don't need to throw away everything in your kitchen overnight. You don't need complicated recipes or expensive ingredients. What makes the biggest difference is what you eat repeatedly, week after week. So here is a simple, realistic approach. First, choose 2 healing soups from today's list and make them part of your weekly routine. Maybe it's lentil soup and vegetable soup. Maybe it's chicken and vegetable soup and tomato soup with olive oil. Rotate them. Freeze portions. Keep them ready. When you already have something healthy available, you are far less likely to grab a high-sodium packaged option. Second, start paying attention to sodium without becoming obsessive. If you buy soup, look for labels under 400 milligrams of sodium per serving. If it's over 800, that should be an occasional food, not a regular meal. And remember, most people eat more than one serving at a time, so the real intake is often double what's written on the label. Third, use soups as a way to increase vegetables and hydration at the same time. Many people over 60 don't drink enough fluids without realizing it. Soups provide hydration plus minerals that help maintain proper fluid balance. This supports circulation, kidney function, and overall energy levels. Fourth, pair soups with simple protein and fiber if needed. A bowl of lentil soup already covers this. Chicken and vegetable soup does as well. But if you're having vegetable soup, you can add beans, tofu, or a small portion of lean protein on the side to make it more filling and supportive for muscle maintenance. And that brings up something very important. After 60, maintaining muscle mass is not about bodybuilding. It's about balance, stability, and independence. Stronger muscles reduce fall risk. They support joints. They help you stay active and confident, and good nutrition is one of the most powerful tools for protecting that strength. Now, I want to remind you of the woman we mentioned earlier. She didn't change her entire life. She simply replaced high-sodium canned soups with homemade lentil and vegetable soups several times per week. Within weeks, her blood pressure improved enough that her doctor adjusted her medication. Not because of a miracle food, but because daily habits quietly shape how your body functions. That is the real message here. Your body is constantly responding to what you give it. When you provide foods that support blood vessels, digestion, and metabolism, your body uses those tools to protect itself. And when you repeatedly overload it with sodium, saturated fat, and additives, your body has to work harder just to stay stable. Over time, that extra strain shows up as higher blood pressure, fatigue, and reduced resilience. But the beautiful part is this. Your body also responds quickly to positive changes. Many people notice differences in energy, digestion, and even swelling in the legs within just a few weeks of improving sodium balance and vegetable intake. That means it is never too late to benefit from better food choices, no matter your age, no matter how long your habits have been in place. You can start today. So here's your simple challenge for the next 7 days. Choose one healing soup from today's list and eat it at least 3 times this week. Just one change. Pay attention to how you feel. Energy levels, digestion, how heavy or light your body feels after meals. Then next week, add another soup. This is how real sustainable change happens, not through extremes, but through small improvements that you can actually maintain. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We share practical, science-based strategies for staying strong, independent, and healthy after 60. And I'd really like to hear from you. Which soup are you most interested in trying first? Lentil, bone broth, vegetable soup, chicken and vegetable? Write it in the comments. Your experience helps others, and it helps us create content that's truly useful for you. Remember, every meal is an opportunity to support your health, and one warm, nourishing bowl at a time, you are choosing strength, comfort, and longevity. I'll see you in the next video.